this is how my scattered mind works. And I have a couple notes. I'm going to read them off. You can hear my kids in the background. Everything's all good. I'm going to talk about my blog post on the scattered mind of me dot substack dot com. All right. And in that blog post, I talk about, Halloween is officially here. And for me, I always think of the candy and the candy that the kids eat and all of the funny posts that us as parents, we take those bags and we play around with our kids, or we pick out our favorite candy and we eat that on the couch, in our bedrooms, and everywhere else. And I just wanted to expand on that here. So for me, I know that this reminds me of overconsumption, and it pushes us forward to the rest of the days that come up, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then we go on wanting to, everybody knows it's an age old thing of wanting to then lose the weight. And then we try to do these cut diets and all of these other things. So for me, I fast, and I've posted that on my Instagram channel, The Scattered Mind of Me, and then you just put those little underscores in between each word. After the, there's an underscore, scattered, there's an underscore, mind, underscore, of underscore me. And so you can find me there. And I'm on Facebook, same thing, The Scattered Mind of Me. And you can see that I fast. There's lots of different kind of fast, right? There's dry fasting, where you don't drink or do anything. You literally brush your teeth and then you fast all the way until that time. And then you have liquid fasting, which is something that I do often. I dry fast maybe a couple days, maybe 3, 4 days out of the month. Usually 3, because when I'm on my menstrual cycle, I play no games. I eat food. I drink water. I sulk. And I don't care. And usually right before my period, I am super hungry and I start craving proteins. I have tried many times to go completely vegan, completely raw, and that has not worked for me at all. So I'm not even going to pretend like all I eat is lettuce and grapes. All right, I don't. I definitely try to keep everything clean. I don't do anything that's sloppy and put together or looks like a mess. It's got to look good, it's got to look put together, and it has to be put together. If I eat processed foods, now in these days and times, for me, it's very limited. Before, I wasn't able to get anything because I have 5 children and I have always been pretty much in the kitchen. We don't venture too far out to do anything early on because we were very young parents, my husband and I. So dry fasting, liquid fasting, which I primarily do, especially on my extended fast. So fast between, a week, 2, 3 weeks. When I do those types of fasts, I definitely incorporate liquids, and I take in no sugar, zero, none, no honey, no brown sugar, nothing. If you don't mix it in your broth, nothing. I don't do any of that. And so I highly encourage, if you're going to do it and you're going to do maybe a liquid diet, I know that you can incorporate smoothies and things like that. The sugar kicks you out of and raises your insulin, and then you just kind of feel like it's a waste. Can I help you?
Can you put the code in?
In just a second. So, to get back to it, that doesn't really help the body regulate. And what I'm trying to do, and what many of us are trying to do, is regulate the body. The type of body type that I just found out that I may have is endomorphic, or the body type that will hold on to weight because it thinks you're not going to eat anymore. And I'll insert some clips of, like, my mind was blown because I was a little upset. It's kind of funny, if you're not eating food, how are you staying the same weight or raising your weight? And for me, fasting is a form of dieting for me now, but it also is a way for me to cleanse my body, heal my gut, and I'm really trying to support my liver, really, really, and boost my immune system and keep a clarifying mind. I'll tell you where this all started. Was a little bit before Joe Cross, I got into Gershon therapy because a younger brother of mine passed away from brain cancer. And so when I was younger, that really took a big toll on me spiritually and emotionally and mentally. And I thought, whatever I have to do to be healthy and clean and clear, I am going to do it. And then my mom passed when I was 15 years old, and she had diabetes. And I would get all these books on diabetes and just try to figure out how can I serve and help people that are unwell or have dis-ease in their body. And now that I'm at my age and I've been juicing, fasting, clean eating, such as like a paleo diet, vegan, vegetarian, that type of thing for almost almost 2 decades now. Um, I have learned that it really depends on the body. It really does. What you like, what your gut health is like, what your blood is like, consuming vegetables raw versus steamed, and whether you should consume meats or not. And it really goes by person. So that is the reason why I was thinking about Halloween and thinking about the candy and thinking about overconsumption in general, and how, for me, I was going back on my weights, and I will put things on the video so you can see that my weight fluctuates when I work externally. So when I had jobs in the office, or when I was working in sales, or when I became a teacher at a local public school here, my weight went up. And when my weight would go up, it wouldn't go up like 5 or 6 pounds. It was going up almost 16 to 20 pounds each time. And I realized that was a huge stressor of mine. Something I'm currently battling with after leaving the school earlier this year is psoriasis. And my body was literally calling out for help. And I was not able to help my body because I didn't even really realize it was happening. I thought if I work harder, spend more time at the school, um, just do more at the house, that was why I was feeling tired and sluggish, because I loved the kids at the school. I enjoyed sales prior to that, and I enjoyed what I was doing prior to that. But my body was already showing me signs before that. When I left the school, my right arm almost stopped working. And I'm like, I am too young for my right arm not to work. And then I had this huge, at the hospital, they said it's an abscess inside of my breast tissue. But once it was drained, and I mean, it completely deformed and made my breast black, all on the inner side here. And then I broke out, and I'm like, what is this breakout? After they drained it. And I got my first time ever having antibiotics. They put me on the strictest antibiotic you can have in America for things like that. Um, Psoriasis. And now I'm dealing with that as a skin issue. And I didn't even notice that I had it since I was 24 years old, when I was stressed working at the hospital in nursing school and working as a certified nurse's assistant Monday through Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Monday through Thursday, I was working at the desk as a clerk for the surgical floor. And I also was an aide on top of that, so I would work 16 hours. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I would work 16 hours, because you could do those morning shifts and then cross over into nighttime because nobody else was doing it. And then I was also working on my business on the side and going to nursing school, depending on what days I would do those 16 hours on Monday through Thursday. And I am telling you, I didn't even know I just thought like I had a rash, and I would totally post pictures. But where my psoriasis is in private places, not private areas, but I cover my body well. And so it's not like right here on my shoulder where I can just rip everything off and show you guys. But I'm dealing with that today, and that's what pushed my fast and wanting to create a better gut health for myself and listen to my body more. Um, I do a lot of side projects on the side, and I am telling you, ladies especially, it doesn't help us to overburden our bodies. We have to listen to ourselves, be more creative, and express more emotionally out in the world. And I know in 2024 it's kind of tough. I do want to bring out on the news blog post or the blog that I recently posted, and you can, of course, find it at Substack. I'll put it in the comments below or in the bio below, that we consume a lot of food when we're stressed. And like I said, I worked externally. I always bring fruit, I always have vegetables. I would always eat before I left work, whether it's a protein shake or just water or my celery juice in the morning or whatever I'm juicing. And the more stressed I became, it seems like the more I would come home, sleep, and then dinner time comes and I'm eating two portions of food and then going back to sleep. And I was still exercising. I'm active, before the school and any other place that I've worked. But I would consume and consume and consume. Especially as the weather declines, you can't really go out and walk and do the things that you want to do. um, we're putting on pounds, and then we try to strike the diet and do all this other crazy stuff to lose the weight later when we want to have a special occasion or go out on dates. And it's just not healthy for the body long term, right? So I also want to say that self-control is necessary, but we also have to be mindful and remember our choices for our eating habits, especially with from this period on all the way through the beginning of next year. We know that we want to consume more and more, even alcohol. If we know that, then we have to choose what we want to eat and go into these seasons knowing I'm only going to do this. And you don't have to necessarily be 100% strict, but know where you stand. Don't just show up and say whatever happens happens and whatever I want is going down. Yes, we have full autonomy over our bodies. We can put what we want in our mouths, but I mean, if it's been so many years for you and you notice it's not changing, what are we gonna do? So for me, like I said, it goes back to clean eating, not really putting any labels or titles on anything, fasting when I want to for the length that I want to, and I also want to focus on the fact that we don't want to have those fearful, guilty, shameful thoughts at the end of the year. Those completely suck. They crash our mental health, and it just puts more emotional burden into our bodies, into our flesh, and it's just not worth it. We have a lot of life to live, and we shorten it when we feel those types of feelings. We need to feel in love and inspired, not that other stuff, not the shame, and not the guilt, right? So don't be fearful this season. It definitely is a scary time, and I'm using those words because it literally the end of this entire week is about consuming, taking in candy and treats and doing all that fun stuff. But we don't want to be a different person next year. We still want to be us. We just want to improve just a little bit. I know I do. So with that, I'll say keep up with my fast over on Instagram. Again, I got the same handle, The Scattered Mind of Me, and I'll continue to post a blog once or twice a week. So if you want to sign up, just go right over to Substack, check that link out, and you can receive them just by putting in your email address. I'm welcoming you into a community that communicates, and I am definitely one that loves to communicate. So, big hugs to you. I know you have it in you to do whatever you choose to do. Have a good one.